and pray tomorrow find you stronger for the journey, as every day we're learning to forgive. It was another place and time that I felt a friend of mine, and no one else was left to take the blame. But when he could have walked away, somehow he found the strength to stay. His love for me was stronger than the pain. And in light of all his mercy, it's much easier to see that even from the cross the Lord was calling you and me. To forgive is to reach out to your brother, as a one friend to another, no matter what the cost. To forgive is to leave the past behind you, and pray tomorrow finds you stronger for the journey, as every day we're learning to forgive. To forgive is to reach out to your brother, as a one friend to another, no matter what the cost. To forgive is to leave the past behind you, and pray tomorrow finds you stronger for the journey, as every day we're learning to forgive. It means to reach out to your brother, as a one friend to another, no matter what the cost. To forgive means to leave the past behind you, and pray tomorrow finds you stronger for the journey, as every day we're learning to forgive. As every day we're learning to forgive.
As every day we learn to forgive. Every day we learn to forgive. What do you find unforgivable this morning? What is that one thing that you believe that you won't be able to forgive someone for? Where can we find forgiveness? It is another beautiful morning. Why is it beautiful, you say? It's beautiful because we are alive to see it. And we are not somewhere in a hospital, or maybe you are, but you are still having the sense to know, or the sense of mind to know where you are, and you know your name, and you're in your right mind. That too we can be thankful for. The question is asked this morning, what can you forgive someone for? Or what is that thing that is unforgivable? It is a beautiful day, and as we contemplate the word forgiveness, I remember someone saying to me, forgiveness is a gift that you give yourself. It is that gift that you give yourself, not someone else. You know, we feel like they don't deserve our forgiveness, but actually it's healing for yourself. And if you would have had the opportunity to read the book, The Will to Heal, yes, that one written by Emile Max himself. It has some really powerful words of wisdom. And one of them, of course, is the fact that forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. I hope that you have been having a good morning so far, that you would have slept well and you are refreshed and ready. Yes, ready to start the day. I am so excited. I enjoyed my mango yesterday, by the way. It was delicious. I am like, wow. Can I get more? Can I get more? I hear that there is more where that one where that one has come from, and I am excited to try and experience it and experience some more mango. It is good for your health. I have embarked on a journey of trying to implement these new healthy diet options in and it has been going well so far, and I hope to continue on the path of you know excitement and interest, and just something to get me going and in the right direction. So if you haven't done so, it's time for you to share the link and tell someone that something fabulous is happening right here on Flashpoint. We hope to be joined by our doctor this morning as we discuss men's health. So if you have a brother, uncle, a father, a cousin, a friend that you need to hear some news that probably they can't take it from you, they would hear it more from the physician, or if there's any question that you want me to ask Dr. K when she comes on, you can go ahead and type them in the chat, or you can send me a message on 345-321-6969. Yeah? All right. So I think it's time for us to hear from the man K. Anthony as he starts us off this morning for the breakfast hour. Yeah. Let's hear.
First thing in the morning, I give thanks for another day. I smile, though I don't have no money. I won't let that faze me, 'cause I'm so grateful for life and another chance. I'm gonna go through my day with a beautiful smile, even when things ain't going my way. I'm thankful for the gift of life. Gonna share that smile, it will never ever fade away. I'm alive in spite of all my struggles. I'm alive, won't be drowned by my sorrows. I'm alive, yeah. Gonna live like there's no tomorrow. Hey, 'cause today is all I have. Work hard every day for me and my family. It's rough, but I gotta make it. Right now, can't hesitate. My time will come, and I'll be a better man. I'm gonna go through my day with a beautiful smile, even when things ain't going my way. I'm thankful for
I'm gonna live like today is all I have. And that's the way to live. I have to say good morning to my dear friend Dennis over there in the UK. And it seems as if he's having some fun. What time is it at your neck of the woods? Quarter to one. It is quarter to one over there in the UK. I say good afternoon to you. It's still good morning right here in the Grand K. I see that it's a bright sunny morning, and you're getting your exercise in. Okay, so it's kind of cold over there. Well, stay warm, even though the sun seems to be shining. Stay warm, and of course, it is very cold. And have a blessed day to you. Yes, and have a blessed day. All right. Okay, wonderful. That's Dennis over there in England giving us a shout up on the breakfast hour. He says it's cold. He's out there and it's cold over there. It's not so cold here. It is very warm, 82 degrees Fahrenheit right here in Grand Cayman, Georgetown, and we are happy to be here. Why are we so happy? I don't know. I don't know what makes us so happy. I am thinking, I am thinking that there's something special. There is something special about today. Do you know what is special about today? Let's see. Is it the day that it is? Is it a special day for you? Why is it such a special day? Hooray, say the roses. Hooray, say the roses. Today is Blame's Day and we are red as blood. Hooray, say the roses. Today is Wednesday and we bloom where soldiers fell and lovers too and the snake of the word. Hooray, say the roses. This poem is saying hooray, it's Wednesday. Now, today is celebrated as National Ketchup Day. National Ketchup Day, National Start Over Day, National Veggie Burger Day. Maybe I'll have a veggie burger today. National Moonshine Day, National Gingerbread Day, and Global Running Day. It's the first Wednesday in June. So if you haven't gotten up and gotten your run in, and if you have not yet made up your bed, that's fine. All right, let's find out why today is Ketchup Day. Right? Let's find out why is today Ketchup Day. And if you know anybody who's celebrating a birthday today, you let me know. Okay. June 5 is National Ketchup Day, and on the National Day calendar, and we are celebrating the most popular condiment. Let's dip right into the origins and history of this food condiment day and see why this red sauce is a staple on our tables just across the world. Now, ketchup comes from the Chinese word ketchup that dates back to 300 BC in China. Ketchup was a sauce made from fermented fish consisting of anchovies or oysters, mushrooms, and walnuts. The sauce became very popular with the British during the 17th century when British sailors came across a local fish sauce while in Southeast Asia. In fact, British sailors were known to add the fish sauce to their crackers and meats. I know a few persons who don't like ketchup, but the jury is still. I love ketchup. I love ketchup on certain of my food. So let's share some interesting facts about tomato. Before 1812, tomatoes were once considered poisonous because of their classification with the nightshade family or Solanaceae. Plants under the nightshade family tend to contain high doses of harmful toxins. However, it was later discovered tomatoes lacked these toxins and were edible. So, for a while there, tomatoes got a bad rap. But thankfully, that has changed, and tomatoes are now considered something that we can eat. Ketchup was originally used for medicinal purposes before the 19th century. In fact, many people use tomatoes to treat indigestion and diarrhea. Can you imagine that? That's interesting. That is an interesting fact. The Great Ketchup Controversy was a real controversy about proper ingredients to make ketchup. Some people thought a sweeter ketchup should be acceptable, while others thought a spicier one would be better. Nearly 97% of Americans, if you're just joining us, why am I reading about tomatoes? Today is National Ketchup Day. Nearly 97% of Americans have ketchup in their homes. And in the Caribbean, I would say 90% of us have ketchup in our homes. In fact, ketchup is so popular, astronauts use ketchup as a condiment while they are in space. The word ketchup became popular during the 19th century and has been the standard name of the condiment since. However, some areas in the southern part of the U.S. still use the word catsup. That's CATSUP. Right? So contemporary tomato ketchup became popular during around 1876 when H.J. Heinz introduced, and you have seen Heinz ketchup, right? So H.J. Heinz introduced his version of the ketchup recipe with a thick consistency and sweet flavor. Heinz spent many hours experimenting with the perfect ketchup recipe. Eventually, he found a way to produce ketchup using quality ingredients like sugar and vinegar to help provide a longer shelf life for consumers. Right? So today is Ketchup Day. I plan not to, I've been trying to stay clear of sugar and those contents that contain sugar. I have been trying to do that for a while now. If you are joining us live on the Breakfast Hour, special good morning to you. I hope you're having a good morning, and you can send us a message, a WhatsApp message, 345-321-6969. I know some of you are on your way to work. Some of you are on your way to school. Some of you just barely get out of bed. But whatever and wherever you are, I want to say a pleasant good morning to you. I am looking forward to spending the next hour or so with you as we just, get the day going good and just take it one day at a time and just enjoy life and just, you know what I mean? That's what we have to do because, listen, life is full of ups and downs. Ups and downs. That is what we have in life. But we know we trust God even when it's up and down. We're giving God thanks. Now, another day that I will mention, right, before we get our time signal and before our devotional, which comes to us from Susan Long, National Start Over Day. What do you think about this day? National Start Over Day. Let's hear about it. Today is June 5 on the National Day calendar, and it's National Start Over Day to remind you it's perfectly fine to start over. Today's National Day is about making a decision to accept failure and start over from scratch. Do you remember that old saying, if at first you don't succeed, then try and try again? All of us seem to have heard it at some time or another in our life. We can all agree it has been used to inspire us to never give up and never give in. Today we want to remind everyone, despite any setbacks you may have, don't give up. Keep going, even if it means starting over. What is failure? In a nutshell, failure is when a person does not succeed or has not met expectations of a specific situation, a goal, or a task. Failure means different things to different people, which is why our ideas about failure differ. Even though society plays a significant role in what we think should be success, the idea of failure comes from our own personal beliefs. Adults view failure differently than children do, but the end result is always the same. Failure leads to discouragement. 6 adult ideas of failure. 1. Receiving a bad work performance review. 2. Forgetting a special occasion. 3. Getting terminated or fired from a job. Misspending or losing money. Missing an important appointment and breaking a family heirloom. 6 childhood ideas of failure. Getting a bad grade on a test, putting off or avoiding chores, breaking rules set by your parents or guardians, arguing with a grown-up, bickering with your siblings, and not making the team. Failing should not be the end, guys. Failure is not the end. In fact, we think you should use failure as a way to grow, learn, and start again. Most people analyze failure after it happens. You think of all the things that could have been and find a solution to make it better the next time around. Each time you fail, you create solutions and learn benefits of doing things differently. Your solutions give you opportunity to start over and to keep going. Why is failing important? I'm spending a lot of time talking about failing. Failing is important because it allows you to give something another try. Trust the process of what you learn along the failure journey, change a few things, and start from scratch to make it a success. Don't be discouraged. Some people may have to make several attempts to reach their goal. Taking another chance and starting over teaches you determination. Just know starting over can and will cause some anxiety. Do not be afraid to keep going. Starting over means a new beginning and a new adventure. You can do it. I love this theme for today, and that's why I'm spending the time to say today is National Start Over Day. Things might not go with how you plan. You never plan it this way, but I encourage you that you can start over, right? So 6 ways to change failure into success. 1. Change your mindset after failure by determining why you failed and then turning the failure into a teaching tool. Failing does not mean you're a failure. It means you have been given opportunity to fix mistakes that will help you succeed when you decide to try again. Learning your own beliefs about failure without comparing them to other expectations will help you focus on doing what is right today. So today is National Start Over. Guys, we can start over again.
Lasco 1 and Up now has ARA, DHA, and prebiotics. It's a new, smarter formula. The time by Lasco 1 and Up is...
It is 7 a.m. right here in the Grand K, and it's time for our devotion by the lady herself, Miss Susan Long.
Good morning. This is day 5. Your word I have hidden in my heart. Psalm 119, verse 11. Something for the Soul, written by Cindy Hess Casper. Filled to the brim with inspiring anecdotes and stories, the books in the series Chicken Soup for the Soul quickly became bestsellers. It's no wonder. A title that includes chicken soup brings back memories of childhood stuffed up noses and scratchy throats. A time when only a warm blanket and mom's steaming chicken and rice soup will bring about relief. Scientific evidence now indicates that mom was pretty smart. Chicken soup is beneficial for fighting colds. It's also one of the foods that people describe as comfort food. When it's not my body but my heart that is aching, I long for the comfort of God's word. Soothing words like, cast all your cares upon him, for he cares for you. 1 Peter 5 verse 7. Assuring words that nothing can separate us from the love of God, which is in Christ Jesus our Lord. Romans 8 verses 38 and 39. The Bible, the world's all-time bestseller, is filled with promises, reminders, challenges, and knowledge of God. When you're feeling discouraged, try ladling up a big serving of God's Word. Having a Bible within reach, or better yet, Scripture hidden in your heart, infinitely trumps a bowl of Mom's chicken soup. It will warm your heart and begin your healing. God's Word is the healer, the comfort, the strength to fill your heart's need, giving food for your soul. Instead of exhausting all sources you find, oh, taste the Lord's goodness for making you whole. Our quote this morning reads, if you fill your heart with God's Word, He will bring spiritual health to your soul. End quote.
If you fill your heart with God's Word, He will bring spiritual health to your soul. And on that note, I will share with you one of my favorite verses, and it's comfort to me during my times that I feel discouraged. And we will have those moments. The devotional just reminded us in a very powerful way, just like how you would get some soup when you're not feeling so well. You try to get some little natural remedies just to make you feel a little healthier. No, the Word of God is that soup. It is that nourishment. It is that comfort. It's that medication. It is what you can use to encourage you in your times of doubting. Now, one of my favorite verses is Isaiah 41 verse 10. It says, "Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee. Yea, I will uphold thee with my right hand of righteousness." And when I read that verse and when I recall that verse, even when I'm feeling down, it brings a smile to my face, because if I just believe these words, if I just try to meditate on these words, it makes me realize that my situation will pass and my God is bigger than my situation. And so I'm encouraging someone today, Wednesday. I don't know where you are. I don't know when you'll get to see this program. I don't know what situation you face. But I hope that this morning you'll feel encouraged and realize that God has everything under his control, and he loves you and he cares for you. And even in the dark, dismal moment where you feel like there is no hope, I want to encourage someone listening, someone who will go back to the program. I want to encourage you to find that little soup that you need from the soul in the Word of God. You can find your own passage of scripture that you can find encouraging to you at the times when you feel like you're so discouraged and you feel like you can't make it, and you feel like this is it for you. What next? How can you face the struggles of life? I want to thank our sponsors this morning, Alaska Foods, for promoting and sponsoring the breakfast hour.
Take it from me, Alaska Food Drink is the best nutrition for the whole family. It provides protein, which keeps us healthy, and calcium, great for building strong bones and teeth. Alaska Food Drink has vitamins A and C, which helps to prevent illnesses. I think that's what they call protecting the immune system. I'm never short on energy since it's fortified with iron. Nutrition never tasted so good.
Lasco Food Drink. Good, healthy, fun!
Lasco Food Drink.
Indeed, Lasco Food Drink. Good, healthy, fun. Fun. I know you were asking me. I've been asked how was my mango yesterday. I'll tell you this. In my excitement, to have my mango, guess what? I left my mango right here in the studio, and my mind was on my mango. I'll confess to you, my mind was on the mango all day until I got back here and had my mango, and it was worth the wait. All of the wait.
If I wrote you a song, if I got every word perfectly weighted on a thin piece of paper, would it make any difference? Would it change for the better? If I wrote you a poem, if I posted a letter?
breakfast hour. You're tuned in. I'm Lady Elise and taking you through. Our doctor should be joining us soon as we speak about men's health issues, you know. And this morning is a special morning. I'm dedicating it to those persons who are going through stuff. And, you know, they say, dog a sweat, but long hair cover it. I want to remind you that we serve a big, wonderful, awesome God. In your lowest moment, He is there. Sometimes you cannot say it to anyone. There's no one who understands what you're going through. Only God.
But I go without knowing. If I told you that I don't know what to believe in, don't know how to pray, but I pray anyway. Tell me you're the one for me now. 'Cause what am
You don't know, you know, you don't know if the prayer is being heard.
Then tell me now what I could do. Tell me you're the one for me now.
That one. God is able to keep us, even in our difficult situation. This morning, that's what we're doing today. There are different times in our life, right? This is the breakfast hour time when we think about our situation, but we think about how God is bigger, how God is able to keep us. You know, we experience different things in life, and we become, you know, I wanted to use the word callous. We go through the routine of life every day, and we take stuff for granted. But today we are changing our mindset. Today is deemed a National Start Over Day. I don't know, you probably feel that you have failed. You have failed your friends, you have failed your family, you have failed God. You have failed God. And you're wondering, how?
If I wrote you a song,
should I write a song?
if I got every word
Yes.
perfect,
Everything is perfect. I said everything perfect. And it still doesn't work out. What do you do next? I want to encourage someone today. That is that vibe that has come over me on this breakfast hour. The struggles are real in life. And sometimes we are so busy. We are busy and we are doing this and we are doing that. And today we're serving some soup. The soup that we're serving right here on the breakfast hour is to nourish your mind and change your mindset. That although things aren't working out the way you want, I want you to pause. Is there any verse that comes to mind? Is there anything? It's that kind of breakfast hour this morning, and you know, I believe it's appropriate that we pause and take stock of our situation and encourage each other. And this morning is one of those mornings that we are going to be sending words of encouragement and hope across the airwaves, that no matter what the situation is, no matter what circumstance you find yourself in this morning, I want to reassure you that God is going to work it out for you, and He is not finished with us yet. He is still working it out for us. Yes, faithful God.
You are my shelter from the storm. You keep me safe inside your wings.
Someone needs to hear that God is your shelter. Yeah, man. Breakfast hour still reflective. Yes.
Water to drink, and now I trust your gentle hand, even when I can't understand. I know your voice. I'm not afraid. Walking with me at the same pace. My companion, my confidant, you will be true when I am not, and when I give you my injuries. Through your grace I find your peace, and now I trust your gentle hand, even when I can't understand. I know your voice. I'm not afraid. Walking with me at the same pace, and now I trust your gentle hand, even when I can't understand. I know your voice. I'm not afraid. Walking with me at the
Yes, this morning on the breakfast hour is dedicated to those persons who are going through situations that sometimes it's not easy to talk about, situations that are dark and sometimes dismal. And we are playing a few songs, we are reading a few verses, we are encouraging someone today. Yeah, the pace might be a little bit on the chill side, but I will ask you to bear with me, and in your moment just pause and reflect. If you need to call someone today and to remind them that God's got you, even when the situation is dark, when the situation seems hopeless. So many of us are facing challenges. We are walking around and we are smiling and stuff, but it's and so this morning we want to have just encouragement, words of wisdom, words of encouragement this morning. We started with a few verses of scripture. My favorite verse: fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee. Yea, I will uphold thee with my right hand of righteousness. Someone needs to hear that today. Someone needs to know that God's got you, even when the challenges are tough and it's dirty, really tough out there. I want to remind you that God's got you. Yeah. And when I play the song A Very Big God, I want you to not only enjoy the rhythm, but I want you to take those words like you have never taken them before. Today is Start Over. Today is National Start Over Day. Your failure that you have failed, whatever you think that is, each of us have a different thing to look at as what we have failed for. But when we played that song this morning, we have been playing it here on the breakfast hour, and we like the melody, and sometimes we move and we exercise to it. But I want you this morning to just consider and contemplate whatever your situation is. how can you recognize that in God's eyes, in the goodness of God, He is great? I have come here today. Today I'm here to encourage someone. Today I'm here to let you know that God is bigger. He is bigger than our circumstances. And once we trust Him.
One time, say, elelele, elelele, egbegbe, 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 ayibeo.
Yeah, we serve a very big God. Yeah. Think about your circumstances, but think about God who is bigger.
Can you feel it? Yeah, bro. Can you feel it? Say. One time. Can you feel it? Say. Hold on. Come on. 1, 2. Jump to dance. 2, 3, 4, 5, go.
I gotta get up for this one. I'm getting up, not because of the rhythm, but because of the words that remind us that we serve a very big God. Yeah, 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 yeah. Listen, the way, oh God, big. Sometimes people wonder, oh, you smell so, and things so toxic-derby. Yeah. God's going to fix it in His time. Right, things might not be perfect this morning, but I want you to meditate on this song and the words of this song and the bigness of your God.
One more time. Everybody. 1, 2, 3. I have a very big God. I have a very big God. Okay, let's go. Say it. A very big God.
Oh yeah. This morning, you know that God is bigger than your circumstances. It's time to live in that mindset. You know, I know this program is dedicated to someone going through a situation or circumstance this morning that you feel that there's no way out. It is so fitting that today is National Turnaround Day, and God can turn around your situation no matter how dismal it seems. I'm going to share a few verses with you today. It's that sort of breakfast hour. We know how to mix up the thing. We know how to do it, and we aim to add value. So this morning, the value that we are adding to you is that the circumstances may not seem perfect today, but I want to remind you that the situation will not last forever, and God is still able. Now we read in Philippians 1 and verse 6, being confident of this, that he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Jesus Christ. That's right. Philippians 1 verse 6. And then let's head over to the psalmist David. And he says in Psalm 37:23-24, the Lord makes firm the steps of the one who delights in him. Though he may stumble, he will not fall, for the Lord upholds him with his hand. Another word of encouragement. Yeah. Let's go over to Hebrews 10:24-25. And let us consider how we may spur one another on toward love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching. And let's go over to Luke. Dr. Luke says in Luke 12 verse 32, do not be afraid, little flock, for your Father has been pleased to give you the kingdom. Trust God in the circumstances, guys. That's what we're doing this Wednesday morning. National Turn and Start Over Day. We are starting over. You know what we're starting over? Instead of being in this dark, dismal place with all the stresses, everything that's going, we are saying that God still is in control. That's what we're doing. We're starting over. We're starting over from not a negative template, but recognizing how big our God is. Yeah. Remember how big your God is. Yes, the news comes up at 7:30. Yeah. Stick and stay. We serve a very big God in spite of our circumstances, and we trust Him even when things look so dismal. We know we trust God, and He is able to keep us even when things are looking not so peachy. Yeah. All right. And so I have another verse for you that comes from Philippians 4 verse 7. And it says, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts, yes, and your minds in Christ Jesus. Deuteronomy says, Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them, for the Lord your God goes with you, and he will never leave you nor forsake you. I'll say that one again for someone who needs to hear. Yes, today we are starting over, and we are starting over by trusting God in the middle of our circumstances, no matter how dismal they seem. So Deuteronomy 31 verse 6, take this one with you. Take it to you, with you to school, to work, wherever you are. Take this one with you. Deuteronomy 31 verse 6. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them. For the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you, and he will never forsake you. And on that note, it's time for our news.
Good morning and welcome to the Breakfast Hour News. If you're joining us live on radio or listening to us on YouTube or Facebook, a pleasant good morning to you. Here are the top stories making it today. We begin with local news. 18 young Caymanians enrolled in DART hospitality program. A new cohort of 18 young Caymanians has joined the DART hospitality training program. They will attend the classes run by Lynn University and gain hands-on experience across DART's hotels in Grand Cayman. This year's participants will have the opportunity to explore various roles within the hospitality sector and may transition into full-time employment upon successful completion of the program. Diane Connolly, DART Hospitality Program Manager, expressed her excitement for the new cohort's journey ahead. Cayman courts resolving issues with payment portal. The Cayman judiciary has addressed recent issues with the payment portal used by subscribers to obtain case documents and pay online. A temporary payment system has been established to resolve the problem. Cayman Airways BRAC night service to resume June 7, 2024. Effective June 7, 2024, Cayman Airways will resume night services between Grand Cayman and Cayman BRAC. The CIAA noted compliance with the regulations to ensure the fitness and safety of air traffic controllers and highlighted ongoing efforts to address staffing challenges. Denzel Douglas disputes RICO suit. Former St. Kitts and Nevis Prime Minister Denzel Douglas has labeled the recent civil suit against him as malicious and baseless. Douglas, now the Minister of Foreign Affairs, firmly denies any criminal or fraudulent involvement, emphasizing his commitment to public service and integrity. U.S. nationals arrested after gold seized by customs in Guyana. 3 individuals, including 2 American citizens, were arrested in Guyana for attempting to smuggle 240 ounces of gold jewelry disguised as silver-plated items. The operation, valued at over $560,000 US, was conducted without the necessary permits. Investigations are ongoing to determine if the individuals are part of a larger smuggling ring. Grenada government increases compulsory school age. Grenada has passed legislation to raise the compulsory school age to 17 years, starting from the new academic term in September. This policy aims to address critical developmental issues and promote skills training for the island's youth. Over in St. Kitts, Natasha Gray Brooks becomes first female leader of PAM. History was made in St. Kitts and Nevis as Natasha Gray Brooks was elected the first female leader of the People's Action Movement, PAM. Gray Brooks, a lawyer, takes over from Sean Richards and pledges to unite the party for future victories. Over in Jamaica, Jamaica recommends immediate ban on ride-sharing apps. Transport Minister Darrell Vaz announced an immediate ban on ride-sharing apps in Jamaica. This following concerns from the police high command. This action was prompted by the discovery of remains believed to be those of a missing school teacher. CXC reverses decision to cut subjects. The Caribbean Examination Council, CXC, has reversed its decision to discontinue 4 subjects due to low enrollment. CAPE and CSEC syllabuses for green engineering, electrical and electronic engineering technology, agricultural technology, and industrial technology will continue. This decision follows discussions with regional education ministers. Weather in Jamaica. Tropical wave to bring thunderstorms. A tropical wave near Jamaica is expected to bring increased rainfall and thunderstorms through this afternoon to Friday. The Meteorological Service advises residents to prepare for potential heavy showers. And finally, Holder and Seals return to West Indies squad for England Test Tour. Jason Holder and Jaden Seals have been named in the West Indies Test squad for the upcoming series against England. Their return strengthens the team's bowling options. Chad Noreen Shondapal has been dropped from the squad. That's all for now. Stay tuned to Flashpoint Radio for more updates throughout the day. Have a great morning. I'm Lady Elise.
When you need ultrasound that's safe and effective, you must visit Asai Ultrasound Imaging. They're conveniently located at number 4 Chestnut Center, Smith Road, Georgetown, Cayman Islands. With experienced technologists with over 20 years experience, their friendly staff will make you comfortable while you get your procedure done. Asai Ultrasound Imaging is open Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Call Asai Ultrasound Imaging 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426. That's 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426.
There you have it. Want to thank our sponsors. Yeah, we heard some news just now, some of them not so good. Can you imagine? Immediate ban on ride-sharing apps over there in Jamaica. And it's a sad place where, you know, something so convenient. I've gone to Jamaica and I've used the Uber app there. And, you know, there are certain features that come with the app. One, you can always share your location. You know who the driver is. You know who the license plate of the driver. You know who is picking up. You can actually have live updates. The app allows you, if you have any issues while in the car, you can send a message. There are so many safety measures put in place, and I thought it was a step forward for Jamaica to join something that is internationally acclaimed. I've used Uber all over the world. I've used different writing apps. I'm not sure which app is the one that this teacher was allegedly using, but unfortunately, it did not end on such a good note, and that's a sad, very, very sad place to be. You know, you want to at least have safety as you transport yourself, as you go from one destination to another. Today is Turn Things Around Day. I know situations aren't perfect, and we do not live in a perfect world. And so today we have decided that we are changing our mindset in how we approach this imperfect world that we live in, with all the sadness and everything that comes with it, overwhelming. A lot of times we try to find the answers and we cannot find them. We are like speechless. We can't talk about it. We are in a dark place mentally. We are sad. We want the situation to change, and we want it to change now. And we wish that we could make some changes, even sometimes in some decisions that we make. And we want the answer and we don't have it. And so this morning we are turning things around by, instead of trying to come up with the solutions ourselves, or instead of being just trapped in this place, we have opened our hearts and we are taking some soup. You know, when you're sick and you can't have your regular food, you can't have the regular big dish, and you know, you'll have a bowl of soup, a nice soup, to just help you. You know, that is important. Now it's time for our doctor to join us, and so I know you have been listening and waiting for the medical person to speak, and you're tired of hearing Lady Elise, but listen. Good morning, Dr. K.
Good morning, Lady Elise. How are you?
I am fine. How are you?
I am good. I'm good. Actually, good.
Okay, so today I understand we'll be talking about men's health.
Yes, we will be. Last week we spoke about women's health and women wellness and wellness examine a woman and when to see the doctor. And today, yes, we'll be talking about the same thing as it pertains to men. And we know that June is celebrated as Men's Month. We have Father's Day in June, and June is one of those months where we try to highlight our men and getting them to be as healthy as possible.
Wonderful. I don't know if you had a chance to listen yesterday, but Hazel G, she had such wonderful things to say about you. But she also said that she hoped that you'll be touching on erectile dysfunction.
Okay, so let's talk about a little bit about men's health. So what are we talking about here? We know that men are less likely, especially when they're younger, to go to the doctor. A woman will go to the doctor probably 5 times more than a man will seek medical attention. A man will only go to the doctor when he's having an issue. And the truth is that erectile dysfunction is one of those things that take the man to the hospital, and it signifies that something else or heralds another issue that's happening to his body. So what we say, so as a young man reaches a teenage year, I mean, after he sees his pediatrician and moves to adolescence and then to adulthood, he should try to see his doctor at least once per year. And what are we looking for? We're just basically just general health, making sure that he gets his you get your labs done, check your we don't usually check your cholesterol until you're later in life, but make sure you have baseline. What are your kidney function tests, your liver function, just to have a baseline to say you're fine. Even if it's not every year to get your labs done when you're 20s or in your 20s to 30s, but to go to make sure that you actually, the doctor tells you, you need to check your scrotum, you need to check to make sure your everything is fine, you know what it feels like. If there's an issue, we try to check for hernias in men. So that's a section in the lower abdomen, between the hips. The doctor will say cuff, and they're looking to see if there's any swelling there.
Called boson? Is that what we call boson?
No, that's different. Yeah, it's almost the same thing. But yeah, it's almost the same thing. But the boson, what we call boson, is when it goes down into the scrotum. So you're basically having the bowel contents all the way going down into the sac and into the scrotum, so the scrotum becomes larger. So there are two reasons for the scrotum to becomes larger. It could be an inguinal-scrotal hernia, or it could be a hydrocele where there's fluid in the scrotum to make it larger.
Okay.
So there are two things that can cause the scrotum to be large. So yes, men sometimes, especially if they do a lot of heavy lifting, and they can have actually that defect in the abdominal wall, and as a result of that, they can get what we call a hernia, which is a little bit more common in men. So your doctor will check for that. As you get older and you get to 40 years old, there are a number of things that are checked for. So we're going to be looking for at that time, when you reach 40, we're going to be checking your prostate. Okay? So what we're going to be checking for, a doctor might decide that they want to do a digital examination, which a lot of men hate.
What is a digital examination? It sounds like you can use your phone and just put in some digits.
So a digital examination is basically where your doctor will put the finger in the rectum,
wow,
feeling for the prostate. And what are we feeling for? We're actually feeling for to see if we can feel a large prostate, if there's any change in the regularity of the prostate. So you know what the prostate feels like, and you're just basically doing a screening exam just to feel it. The other thing, if you don't want that, then you could do your prostate-specific antigen, which is a blood test that is done to make sure your prostate is fine. So normally it would be about 0 to 4, and if it's trending upwards, we'll want to monitor it. What we know is that with men, as they get older, men prostate gets larger, and that is just something that is as a result of aging. So as a result of aging, the prostate gets larger, which is something we call benign prostatic hypertrophy. It is not a problem, and sometimes it doesn't get large to the point where it becomes pathological, but it's something that you want to maintain to make sure. If their doctor is realizing that they can feel the prostate and it feels a little large, then we'll send you for a prostate ultrasound to look at the prostate. We're looking to make sure that there are no abnormal growths in the prostate, and we're not seeing anything to suggest prostate cancer. And if we're suggesting, then we can do additional tests. But you want to see if the prostate is just getting large. Remember, the urethra runs between the prostate. So when the prostate gets large, it basically squeezes it together, and then that's when you call stoppage of water. You've heard that term, right? Where the men have urinary now, they have retention of urine because
yes,
the urethra is being squeezed between that enlarged prostate. And so there are times they might give you medication to decrease the prostate, or they might give you might need surgery in order to shave down the prostate in order to alleviate this issue. So there are a number of things that men need to get done. So that's one thing when it comes on to men. The other thing, remember we spoke about women and we said having estrogen protects a woman in the premenopausal age.
Yes.
Men do not have that protection. So men are at increased risk for strokes. Men are increased risk for heart attacks. Men are increased risk for just cardiovascular disease. So we need to check initially. A man needs to, in a part of his examination, is to get his EKG done or ECG.
You know,
wherever you are.
Dr. K, I should have asked you earlier. I know I've heard previously that the prognosis for men when prostate cancer is diagnosed early is very good. They can live for a long time with such a diagnosis. Forever.
Yes,
Right?
it's true.
So
It's true.
yes.
So it behoves a man to do his checks, because catching that thing early can prolong your life. Too many people have issues and end up dying from prostate cancer because it is found out so late.
And I think I think they're scared of several, the examination, the digital examination, and that prohibits them from going to the doctor. And also they think that perhaps it could affect their sexuality in some way or another, and so they are reluctant. I'm sorry, Mikey G is not here to give us his spin on this whole topic and conversation.
Yes, and the truth is that it all depends on what's happening, because it does not have to interfere with your sexuality in any way. Not treating it is what's going to interfere with your sexuality, not just having prostate cancer. Because you have prostate cancer, and in good hands, treatment and surgical process of this leaves you fine with no erectile dysfunction or no limitations when it comes on to your sexual health. And a lot of men are having issues with that. But we need to realize that erectile dysfunction is not just due to physical stuff like prostate cancer. There are other things that can happen with prostate cancer, with erectile dysfunction. And the other thing that we need to know is that men tend to have, as men are usually stoic, a lot of black people, especially men, tend to have high blood pressure. And a lot of times it is not treated. Why? Because they're told that if they take the medication, then they won't be able to perform effectively. But that is why you work with your doctor. You try to keep as healthy as possible, healthy diet, exercise, because when you do all of that, what happens is that you can eventually change your status. You can control your blood pressure, and controlling your blood pressure can allow you to lead a relatively normal life and to be very successful in terms of everything. Your sexual health will be improved, and every other aspect of your life will be improved. Remember, when you have diabetes and high blood pressure, especially high blood pressure that is not treated, remember, high blood pressure affects just a number of organs in your body. And if you get a stroke or a heart attack, or it damages your kidneys, it's taking away your independence as a man. And that's going to be leading to depression and other things. Remember, men are more likely to commit suicide than women. And this is another thing. A man who realizes that his independence is gone, he's by himself, he has nothing, he's more likely to be depressed and even to say, what's the point of living? Because men are are driven by purpose. They're purpose driven, and if you take away that from them, then they will have the idea, or they will think that there's no reason for going on, and that's why men will kill themselves. They will commit suicide. So we
I
have to make sure that.
that's
Go
a
ahead.
sad that's really a sad statistic, and I believe I heard it shared in another forum, and I have heard of a few recent cases of men committing suicide, and I wonder what would be the cause why he would feel that he must end his life, his purpose is gone, and what we can do as persons who support these men, as sisters, as cousins, as wives, whatever relation. How can we support the men when they are going through these issues? Because this is something that they perhaps wouldn't want to talk about either. Um, Erectile dysfunction, and they feel like they cannot function in the way that but they feel like it's less of a man to come and talk about it.
Well, okay, so erectile dysfunction is something that, um, if we're talking about erectile dysfunction right now, it's a big topic. It's a big topic because what exactly is erectile dysfunction? And a man might think that he has erectile dysfunction when it's not really erectile dysfunction. But if we want to talk about erectile dysfunction, we're going to say erectile dysfunction is basically when a man is unable to maintain penile erection satisfactory for basically sexual performance. So he's unable to do that. And there was a study that was done many, many years ago. I mean, probably about 20 years ago or more, probably 30. It was done in a study where they had about 2,000 men, and they found out that approximately 52% of these men had ED. That's a lot.
Yep.
That's a lot. That's a lot. But remember, erectile dysfunction can be psychological because of prostate, because of your diabetes. So the same thing that causes your arteries to block up, that's not sending blood to your heart, that's not sending blood to your lungs, is the same thing that's not sending blood to your penis. So the same conditions. So erectile dysfunction can be because of atherosclerosis, atherosclerotic plaques in the vessels. So remember, in order for you to get an erection, it has to be engorged by blood. Your penile cells, blood vessels, have to be engorged by blood. And as a result of that, if there's a decreased blood flow to the heart, decreased blood flow to the lungs, you can have decreased blood flow to the penis. And as a result of that, yes, you can get erectile dysfunction. And that's why I said for men, we need to check their cholesterol level. We need to check their whether it is their total cholesterol and their LDL, which is their low density lipoproteins. We need to make sure that we're controlling all of that. Men with depression and alcohol use, and men need to be taught be knowledgeable about their whole sexual organs and whole and that's why it behoves them to talk to your doctor. Get a relationship with your physician or your support group who can give you good information, because you don't want people to tell you, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. There was a time, I mean, this is deviating here now, but it's just to say your friends can give you bad information. There was this man who was well endowed, and he came to the hospital because he wanted to see the orthopedic doctor. And the reason for this is his friends kept telling him that, man, you're well endowed, you're too big, you need to put a ring on it. Do you know what he put on it? A truck gear.
A truck gear.
Yeah, he was a mechanic. He put a truck gear on it. So when he had to come to the hospital for the orthopedic doctor who had the equipment to cut it off because it was
Wow.
all swollen now and was ready to lose his organ
Wow.
because
Wow.
he was listening to his friends. So
Yes.
I'm just saying to you, and that is just saying that men need to basically get the proper information because, and go to your doctor. Remember, I said to you, whatever causes you to have a stroke, the whole pathophysiology um, of your vessels being clogged with your atherosclerotic plaques, and it causes you to have a stroke, causes you to have a heart attack, it can cause you to have erectile dysfunction. So erectile dysfunction can herald all of those other pathologies which can save your life. But in the event, a man needs to go to the doctor to make sure he gets checked out, to make sure he gets all of these base studies done. Men are more likely to smoke, so usually doctor will ask you about your smoking history. If you're a smoker, then they'll probably want to do a chest x-ray to make sure that there's nothing happening in your chest. Other things that happens, men over 45, they would want to do, and especially 50s and 60s, they want to do an ultrasound because men are more likely to get aneurysms, aortic aneurysms than women. So they will actually check to make sure your aorta is fine. The other thing that happens is that apart from just your, remember, men can get breast cancer. Even though they're men, they can. So it's a matter of checking your body. The doctor will check all of you, and men need to do their scrotal examination and their P-line examination at home to make sure that everything is fine. Your doctor will look to make sure that there are no evidence of any STIs and make sure that there's nothing happening. They'll check your testes to make sure that there is no, men get testicular cancer too. So to check there's no lump or tenderness or change in size of the testes when they go to the hospital. So yeah, there are a number of things that, go to the doctor's office. So there are a number of things that they will check for. It's not just checking for your prostate, it's checking you as a man and checking everything about you. So yes, men need to get their examination. And when they reach 40, the doctor will say, oh, let's send you for a colon cancer screen. So the colon cancer screen, by the time you reach 45, and depends on your family history, you can get the labs. Just the FOBT, which is the fecal blood occult test. That's where they give you the cup or the card, and you put some stool on it, just screening for blood in the stool. But by the time you reach 45, they may say, oh, we want you to do a colonoscopy just to check your colon, and that's done every 10 years if everything is fine. So just checking yourself to make sure that you're fine is very, very important in a man. Because I'm telling you, when a woman is sick, it's bad, but when a man gets sick, the physical strain of his family, him who is not able to take care of his family, takes a lot of his purpose from him. And as a result of that, the depression and the mental effect on him is really, really horrible.
Wow. I am glad that you chose to speak about the men today, because actually, even though we touched on women's issues last week, I never remembered that this month would have been an emphasis where we talk about health and we engage our men, because to think that the issues that they face could be resolved sometimes by a simple relationship with your doctor that you could have every year. And then, like anything, like your car needs servicing. And I see these men who get these nice cars and them shining it and them looking on the tires and it pretty, and sometimes they come out and they look on it and they look good again, and they wash it sometimes so often the car look nice.
Yes. And Yeah, it is, and it's not just checking. Remember, men need to eat well. There are a number of foods that men will eat that will improve their entire sexual function. Men needs to increase their prostate health because there are lots of nutrients, natural occurring nutrients that men have that can actually improve their sexual health. Spermatogenesis, which is the formation of sperm. In order to make a child, you want good sperm. You have to have a good sperm, not the ones that is lazy and moving like a snail. You want to have, as a man, because remember, you have different types of sperms. You have to, as your sperm is made, you have ones that are not swimming well. Those are lazy. You have the ones that you have good genes, and you want to produce good genes, so you want to produce good children. So you have to take care of your man's health, your testicular health, your spermagenesis, the sperms that you make. You want good sperms in order to make good children. And so if you want to have a good sexual life and you want to have that manly feeling, then you have to eat well, you have to exercise, you have to maintain or take the nutrients and if you're not getting those nutrients, there are lots of other things that you can get. Men needs a lot more zinc than women because that is it is important in his health in terms of making his sperms. Then you want to maintain your prostate health.
Where does he get this zinc from? What foods?
Zinc is usually gotten from your beans and your green leafy vegetables and your nuts.
Right.
Zinc is in nuts.
So eat up your nuts, man.
Yes, eat up your nuts. You can get it in cashews and almonds, and a lot of high fiber food has a lot of nuts. And if not, men's vitamins tend to have a little different from women vitamins. So you try to eat your nuts, eat your almonds, eat your pumpkin seeds, eat your a lot of those seeds tend to have a high concentration of zinc. So zinc is very, very important in terms of your diet in a man. So make sure you take care of your prostate health. There are a number of things that you can take to soy palmetto, which is another thing that you can use to help with your prostate health. Okay, so we need to know that men needs to research what are the things. I tell you, soy palmetto, you can get them from pumpkin seeds. These are some things that you can get which will help you to maintain a good prostate health. So men, even though we talked about did we talk about testosterone level before in a man? And we're saying that you want to make sure, that's another thing that happens when you get older. So over 45, 50, 60, your doctor wants to make sure that they check your testosterone level to make sure that you're adequately producing testosterone. Without this, then this can actually help with your erectile dysfunction. If you're having your testosterone level, if it's low, then you're more likely to have issues with your sexual function. So yes, we'll in terms of men, we want men to be as healthy as possible. They are the head of the household. They are the backbone of society, and with healthier men, we'll end up with a better society, because yes, we'll have our men who are there, who are making decisions and are leaders in our society. So if men can take care of themselves in every aspect, partner with your doctor, partner with the social groups that are available and make you as healthy as possible. And it doesn't take a lot. You just have to be aware, be knowledgeable of the things that are there to affect you. Make sure that you control your blood pressure. Make sure you eat right. Make sure that you exercise. Make sure you drink enough water. And it's the same thing. Handle your stress level, because all of this can affect you in the long run.
Thank you so much, Dr. K. And as you mentioned, handle your stress level. This morning on the breakfast hour, we have been, engaging in a discussion where we have been reading different verses of the Bible to encourage persons who are perhaps going through difficult times. And men, we have been told that the men shouldn't cry. And so because they don't cry, they just go ahead and do this dress, and they can't talk to anybody because it's going to be looked at as if they are being soft, or they're not being masculine, or their maleness is diminished somehow if they have something that they need to talk about.
And that's not true. Men should talk. They should talk when issues are bothering them. And that's why I'm telling you, they don't want to see, because they don't want anybody to see them as not being the man that they are. So they will hide all of these things. They will hide the way they're feeling. They will hide their medical illnesses. They will hide the issues. They will get irritable because they don't want anybody to know the problems that they're having. So they'll put on this mask in order to hide it. And as a result of that, it's when the horse is gone through the gate, that's when they're finding that there's an issue. And at that stage, it's really, really hard to treat. So the best thing is preventative care. Women will do their pap smears, will do their mammograms. A man, oh geez, it takes a lot for him to do his prostate screening.
Sometimes the women have to take the men, have to go with them to encourage them.
That is true. They have to sometimes take them. So and that's where the women come in. When you have a good relationship with your man, and you know him, you've been with him for years, you know when there are changes in his body, you know when there are changes in the way he's behaving. You might not know that something is wrong with him, but you can see that he's worried about something and there's a little change. And it's for you to be sympathetic, is have some empathy, know that something is happening to him and be able to work with him. Make it easy for him to come to talk to you because you're the closest person to him. So give him that latitude where he can say, hon, something is happening here.
Yes.
And you will know that something is happening.
Yes.
Have a conversation. Do not be judgmental. Get that kind of, and once you'll be able to find out and he's comfortable talking to you, then you can escalate it by bringing it to a professional who can give you help. It could be losing his job. It could be depression. It could be anything. And once he gets that support from you, it makes it easier for him to get professional help to deal with what he's having. So yes, it's always good to be that supportive person. Make it easy.
Make it easy.
Easy for him to talk to you.
And I think too, as mothers of boys, we should encourage that a yearly annual examination from an early age. Get them in the idea, so that they will transition to that in adulthood, to know that, it's okay. It's okay, we need to take care of our bodies and we need to take care of our health. I want to say thank you, Dr. K.
Not a problem. Anytime, my dear.
It has been you always bring such interesting topics and also help us to keep abreast, because yes, we are saying one thing, we talk about women's health, but we are serious and we are concerned about men. Keep the thing balanced. So I want to thank you for the wealth of information that you have shared, and we are looking forward to hear what you will have to bring to us on our next health check that will be next week Wednesday. So any final words you want to say to our listeners and our viewers this morning?
Well, I just want to say to our listeners today that I want the men in our society to know that as women we support them fully, and we want them to make sure that they're healthy. We want to make sure that they take care of themselves, and they need to get as much knowledge and good information about how to keep themselves as healthy as possible and how to ward off all these things that will happen to them as they age, which is benign prostatic hypertrophy and possibly prostate cancer. And if they can keep themselves as healthy and practice good living, then they should be able to keep or go through their life healthier. No strokes, no heart attacks, no cardiovascular disease, no erectile dysfunction, and be able to live a long and healthy life. And that's what we want for our men.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr. K. Have yourself a wonderful, wonderful day, and we will hear from you next week when we talk more about health. Yeah. And we are looking forward to that conversation that we will have with Dr. K next week when she brings to us much more information. Yeah.
I see you, I close my eyes and I see you. I feel you, I sense you're always there. I hear you, your voice I hear so clearly. So near me, I see you everywhere. And my eyes are filled with tears as you strip me of all my fears. So I stand before you naked and as I am, you fill me with a love too great to understand. Am I dreaming or
yes, it's another breakfast hour. Another breakfast hour this morning. We're giving thanks and recognize that we are just back at ground zero, starting over again, recognizing the greatness of our God. And we wanted to thank Dr. K for this wonderful medical presentation.
you heard me, I called your name and you heard me. You saw me, saw a broken man. You love me like no one else ever loved me. You freed me from my pain. And I surrender to your embrace. Tears running down my face.
Yes, it's another breakfast hour, and we are giving thanks for God's grace and God's mercy that would have kept us one more day before we get out of the studio. I must have a conversation with one of our VIPs and find out what's happening in her neck of the woods. And as usual, I want to encourage you to stay connected with us, Flashpoint Radio JA or flashpointmedia.ky, and you can also send us an email at info@flashpointmedia.ky. Send us a WhatsApp 345-321-6969. I just want to remind you as well of our fish fry that comes up on the 1st of July. No, whether you want your fish fried or steamed or brown stew, however you want your fish, there's going to be fish, there's going to be curry chickpeas, there's going to be dinner roast, and gungo rice and rice and peas and raw vegetables. Your tickets are only $15, and you're going to give us a call here if you want to get your tickets. It's 345-321-6969. Fish fry comes up on the 1st of July over there at Savannah. I want to remind you of a few verses before we get out of studio. 2 Corinthians 5 verse 7, for we live by faith and not by sight. Psalm 23 5 and 6, you prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely your goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. What a powerful reassurance this morning. God is indeed good, and we give him thanks, we give him praise for his mercy, for his love, for all that he bestows on us. We just want to remind the listeners as well that tomorrow, guess who is going to be here? It's going to be Dr. Guest, and he is going to be speaking about natural health. So if you have any questions, I already have a few. I will send them on to him so that he will address those questions when he comes on tomorrow.
Take a look into the mirror. See the world you've never seen. Say a prayer for the children. Find the road to lasting peace. Let the sun shine through. The shadow cannot last. Raise your voices up to echo through the skies. Make a wish, a ray of hope, and lend a helping hand. Share the joy, the brighter day. The change begins with you. The change begins with you and you. When a stranger is in need, we must never be unkind.
Yes, that one brought to us by Audley Scott and Tommy T. I want to encourage you as we go this morning. It has been an absolute pleasure to be with you. I want to say thank you for sticking and staying with your girl Elise as we complete another episode of the Breakfast Hour. Not by will, but God's divine love and grace that has kept us. I want to remind you, whenever you listen to this, you might not be tuned in live now, but you will join later. And I want to remind you how blessed you are above all measure. I want you to be reminded of God's love and grace and mercy. And even though things aren't peachy or things aren't perfect right now, I want you to hold on with every fiber of your being to hope and know that things will work out eventually. Just trust God. And as we prepare to get out of studio, we just want to have a word from one of our listeners who are joining us as she shares with us some final words as we get out of the studio. I hear some music here playing in my background. Let me see if I can get that sorted before we have the conversation. Have I sorted it? Let's see. No, I have not sorted it out. I am going to sort it out and then we can start. Good morning and welcome to the breakfast hour.
Good morning. How are you?
I am fine, thank you. No, we are getting ready to get out of studio and we want to...
I can't believe we're leaving already.
It has been a wonderful breakfast hour, and what this breakfast hour is all about this morning is to encourage someone who is in a difficult situation, a difficult position, and perhaps think that life is failing all around. We just want to encourage someone, and I shared a few verses. So before we get out of studio, is there any verse or anything that you use to encourage yourself when you're going through difficult times?
You know, difficult times are a must. However, God is bigger than all my problems.
Yes.
He knows that I would meet them before I meet them. And sometimes the solutions that I think about, they are not good enough, because you see, when God solves the problem, oh my God, it is well solved. And so there are some times when you don't, though you know that God is there, you don't really see how, and you see the positive, that in that moment, it is your time to just trust God. You have to trust God because you know the type of God you serve. You already know who He is, and you know what He has ordained or what He allows you to go through. It is for a reason. And so the verses that you shared, Isaiah 41 verse 10 is one of my favorite. Fear thou not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. That one, I love that text. And the other text that kind of helps me in my tough times is the one that tells me that before I ask, He will answer. And while I am yet speaking, He will hear. And I see that not only in the words in the Bible, but I see that so often in my life, and I'm just grateful for that. So when I see that and I can remember, it's the other text that tells you that if you forget how He has led you in the past, that's how you're going to lose your way. I'm paraphrasing though. But when you remember the things that God has done for you in the past, and when you meet upon the struggles, even if you can't see the end from the beginning, and you remember those times that God came through, you are reassured that He will come through again.
He is an amazing God. He is. That's a powerful way to end the breakfast hour. I want to thank you and wish for you a wonderful, wonderful day, and whatever challenges that you face today, that God will take you through them. He never promised that we won't have a challenge, we will have them, but He promised that He will never leave us and He will never forsake us. So thank you and have yourself a wonderful day.
Thank you too. It was fun today. I love the program. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. Welcome, welcome. And Man K. Anthony takes us out in fine style as usual.
First thing in the morning, I give thanks for another day. I smile, though I don't have no money. I won't let that faze me, 'cause I'm so grateful for life and another chance. I'm gonna go through my day with a beautiful smile, even when things ain't going my way. I'm thankful for the gift of life, gonna share that smile, it will never ever fade away. I'm alive, in spite of all my struggles. I'm alive, won't be drowned by my sorrows. I'm alive, yeah, gonna live like there's no tomorrow. Hey, 'cause today is all I have. Ha. Work hard every day for me and my family. It's rough, but I gotta make it. Right now, can't hesitate. My time will come, and I'll be a better man. I'm gonna go